Good day, everyone.
Good day, sir.
Last week, I have already assigned the two students who will narrate a Filipino movie in the Spanish period. As of right now, I want you to listen and learn to the plot that will be given by these students. AJ and Angel, may I?
It's easy to say I am a Filipino, but when can a person be considered a true Filipino? The movie Ganito Kami Noon, Paano Kayo Ngayon, directed by Romero, clearly depicts the identity of a Filipino, wherein it gives different definitions in the word Filipino, one of which is a person born in the Philippines.
The story revolves around a young Filipino named Nicolas Ocampo or other Colas, a provincial man with a single ambition in life to travel. During his past was the Filipino Revolution against Spaniards. Aside from singing, humor, romance, and war, the film highlighted the problems of Filipinos discovering and earning their own independence.
It is also featured various phases of Filipinos at that time: warriors, travelers, bandits, artists, masters, slaves, prisoners, poor, and many more.
The film starts with the death of Nicolas' parents. As a young man, he is forced to fend for himself, and it's not good as he burned his house by accident.
This event forces Nicolas to leave the countryside in search of temporary refuge and to go on an adventure to get a new shelter.
On his travels, he encountered a priest named Padre Gil Porchuera who is hiding from a gang of bandits.
Colas helped him to keep him away from the bandits, even to get to know each other. But Colas ends up being whipped by the friars when Padre Gil accused him that he was abducted by Colas.
Eventually, Padre Gil forgave him to the sins he even don't deserve, and he asked Colas to take care, literally bring home his illegitimate child named Bindoy in the city of Manila.
Nicolas then sets out on an adventure in the countryside to find Bindoy, the priest's legitimate son, and bring him home, and then suddenly, of course, he found Bindoy in the city.
On their way back, Colas and Bindoy experience many things together. They find themselves meeting with a traveling actress troupe, and Colas falls in love with its group leader named Didi. Yes, it's true. He falls to her.
But he was not given the opportunity to express his love, as well as he should have accomplished his mission to bring home Bindoy.
With the boy in tow, Colas and Bindoy arrived in Manila by boat. He was guided by Lim, a Hokkien Chinese trader which he encountered on the way he was in the city.
Nicolas eventually reaches Manila and brings Bindoy to his new home. To his surprise, he gets rewarded by Padre Gil with a big, fancy house and abundance of possessions.
The teenager Colas now lives a rich man's life with money and huge house, which he never expected to happen. This moment triggers Colas' feeling to express his love towards Didi.
But unfortunately, so painful when she saw a note that Didi was already linked to a Spanish mestizo named Boy.
Colas' life is enough to describe a successful man. with the help of a Lady Concordia who care and manage to his residence, and even Don Tibor who would teach him to fight for himself in valorous duel.
Another misfortune happened to Colas when the Spanish soldiers mistakenly thought he was a robber. He was jailed but escaped with the help of a fellow prisoner he befriended named Kidlat, who was sworn before being sentenced to death.
As time goes on, he then gets to experience the darkest part of society. He meets a cast of colorful characters that teach him different lessons. He witnesses how an unknown rebellion murdered a guard.
And how the moment of war breaks out, how the rebellions attack the Spaniards and liberate the area. Meanwhile, it shows that Manila is in the midst of turmoil because of the arrival of Americans.
After the liberation of the Philippines from Spanish rule, he meets Diding for the last time and bid his goodbye for the last time.
Naniniwala sa iyong pangako na hindi susuko.
Because once and for all, he realizes that even with all the wealth he had, it didn't make him any happy. And his identity screams the fact that a Filipino is a person who still look back and return to his origin despite its poor conditions, and this what makes a true
Di
Filipino.
pa ba sapat nung binigay ko ang lahat? Paalam. Pagbigyan ng aking tukod, wag iwan sa imahinasyon.
After the entire journey that Colas, he has learned that being a Filipino is not only reflected in appearance or external qualities, but also in the heart and good mind of a person.
The story also tells that the Filipino is a person who still look back and return to his origin despite its poor condition, and this what makes a true and brave Filipino.
But some Filipinos try to bring others down so that they can be on top. The Filipinos have already a good life, even calls others below them in views, just to state that they are not equals and they are higher than them.
It should be your fellow countrymen that will help you out in times of trouble, but in the light of the complexity of reality, they are the ones who aspire for you to stumble and fall just for them to succeed. That's all.
That's a really good story, right? Thank you so much, AJ and Angel. The story, Ganito Kami Noon, Paano Kayo Ngayon, as generally stated, being a Filipino means being willing to serve and accept a responsibility. A responsibility of being a defender of our own land and our fellow men. It states that the attitude of the Filipino before towards something change based on certain internal and external factors. And the Filipino who is naive will to know more and to do more, not only for herself or himself, but for others.
Mababa pala ang tala. Tumingin ka sa aking mga mata, hindi mo nakakailangan pang magtanong lingkod